Professor, welcome back. A US fighter jet downed by Iran's forces. What does this say about Iran's military capabilities?
Well, it says two things, really. The one thing that is very clear is that, contrary to any claims that we have heard from the Pentagon and from President Trump himself, Iran is not completely out yet. The US may have relatively uncontested air supremacy, but occasionally, as we have seen in this particular situation, clearly the Iranians still have weapons to strike at US assets. The other thing, and that is equally important and relates more to the search operation that the US is now mounting, this was probably just a one-off strike. The Iranian capabilities have, by and large, been decimated, bar some assets that they clearly have retained. But this does not fundamentally change the weight that the US can bring to bear over Iranian skies.
I wonder how serious is this moment of a downed US aircrew and a frantic search from both sides, both the Americans and the Iranians, to find him?
Well, I think that is clearly the main escalation danger at the moment. If the Americans manage to extract the pilot dead or alive, I think that will be definitely better than the Iranians capturing him, because that clearly could lead to a massive escalation on the part of Trump. This could be one of the triggers where Trump actually decides that he wants to carry out the threats that he has previously mentioned, going after more Iranian critical infrastructure, potentially even deploying ground troops in the region.
In your judgment, then, what is the likelihood of seeing US boots on the ground in great numbers in this conflict?
Well, I think that depends very much, I think, on the next couple of days, because we have a number of parallel developments going on here. On the one hand, there's obviously the situation around the missing pilot. The other one is the general sense that we have now got that there are actually stable communication channels between Tehran and Washington, both direct and through intermediaries. So there might actually be a dialogue ongoing that could potentially lead to at least a temporary ceasefire that might then enable proper negotiations between the sides or settlement. And the third thing that we need to keep in mind is, of course, the volatility of the global economy. And here, very clearly, I think there are concerns in the US, also domestic concerns in terms of, in particular, rising fuel prices, that will weigh quite heavily on Donald Trump's mind in terms of where he sees this war going.